Alright guys, this tutorial is going to show you how to fix an old photograph using the basic tools you should know how to use in Photoshop. This is our practice one. First thing you want to do is duplicate your layer by right-clicking, duplicate. In case you mess up, you still have an original down here. The next thing I would try to accomplish, and there's lots of different tools to do the same thing, is to cut out this piece right here on the right, and we're going to connect it back over here. This one needs to go on top because the white rip is here, and this is the information that would go on top of this, the way it was ripped apart. Because this is such a jagged edge, and there's actually a lot of problems with this. When you would photograph an old photo, it would be nicer to have it not on a busy background like this, because we can't just select it. We're going to have to improvise a little bit, so I would recommend, I'm just going to use the lasso tool because there's no precision using the pin tool to get all that. And I'm just going to go as close as I can with my shaky hand to this edge and isolate this. I can go way out here, it doesn't matter. Once that's selected, I'm going to right click, layer via copy. So now there's a layer with just that on it. And I'm going to work with this for a minute. Because there's the black here against lighter tones, I might get lucky enough. And again, this is just experimenting at this point. I know how to use tools. I want to get rid of the black. I'm going to try to use the magic eraser. And that seemed to help a good bit. Right here, I'm hoping it doesn't bleed into his neck. It did a little bit, but I'm going to go with that. I think I can fix that easier. Oops. Alright, so I cleaned that up, sorta. Now I'm going to turn this back on, moving tool, and I'm going to use arrows because this is kind of a precision looking thing here. And it will help to zoom in and pick one point. I'm going to look at his teeth. And then I'm going to go back to the moving tool. And actually the chin, watch this, look right where the chin is right here. I can see when it meets up pretty good. I'm going to go over a couple. That looks just about perfect. So now I can go back in. I'm going to use the fuzzy eraser. Make sure it's fuzzy. And start cleaning up some of this stuff. Fixing an old photograph is not a fast project. You need to have precision with it. You need to have some patience. Might even change this so I can really get in here and clean up some of this dark area. And if I erase too much this way, there'll be nothing there. Alright, for the sake of this tutorial not being super long, I'm going to zoom back out. So I would work my way along that line, cleaning all that up, and then I'm going to merge these layers together. So layer one, and again, this would be after I clean this up. I would hit Control E, merge down. So now these are together. And now I can go back in, and you kind of have two really good options here. You've got the healing brush, which as long as this is fuzzy, will be pretty forgiving and help you out a good bit. This will allow me to grab skin here, and it will mix pixels. So I can move along this line and clean that up. And again, the more precise you can be, the better this is going to look, because you'll start getting little circles if you try to do too big an area at a time. So this skin is darker. I'm going to press Alt, click, and then I'm working just in this area. If the skin gets a little bit lighter, I'm going to grab right here, Alt, click. Just kind of cleaning up right there. Right there, I probably could have used this darker again. That looks pretty good for the chin. I'll come right here. So I want to show you one other little trick that you guys know that you might not think about. Right here, if some of the stuff starts looking a little bit off, which I think it looks pretty good, but if I needed help matching things back up, you could go to the dodge and the burn tool. And I mean, you'd want to do this ever so slightly. And you could just burn a little bit, a new chin a little bit right there. That's too much. To help control your colors. Especially when you're maybe in this tooth area. The other thing you can do, aside from that, and again, the healing brush, well, it's mixing pixels. It's grabbing a color and it's correcting that area with a specific color. The clone stamp is going to follow along with, like, as I move, it's going to grab all this too. So if this color is pretty much, it changes a little bit, I can use the clone stamp. I press Alt, and again, it's a fuzzy one, and I can go right along here. Sometimes I'll use the clone stamp to get a general fix done, like a generally kind of fix that, but then I'll go back in with the healing brush and do some precision work, kind of just really making sure these colors, selecting it again, kind of match up. Probably clone this part right here. Look around the picture a lot and see what can I use to help fix what I need to fix. And if I go too far, it's going to start getting dark again on me. So right here is a good section to grab to put right here. Move out a little bit. And it's good as you work, because you get so micro-focused on one thing, to, you know, continually zoom out every once in a while and have a critical eye. Ask your neighbor, what did I just do? Do you see anything weird? Because you know what it's supposed to look like. You know what was there, but it helps to have like a different opinion every now and then. So this area looks pretty good. All of this is a matter of just going back and forth between clone stamp and healing brush for the most part. To finalize things and make everything look really good, you want to crop it. I'm going to crop in just a hair on this. I don't even need to fix this because I'm cropping it. And if you've got a lot of skin tones, this one I think we could fix pretty much. So skin tones won't be an issue. But you've got some discoloration here. You might do image adjustments, desaturate. Do image adjustments, brightness, contrast. You could play with those things. Or look up here. Oops, I want to zoom. And the same thing we've been doing. You could even use the color. Let's say I'm going to make everything maybe this white right here. I grab the white, go in with the paintbrush, make my brush bigger. I'm going to use a fuzzy one. Okay, so to color this out, I am going to make sure I have a fuzzy brush so it blends in a little bit. It's not going to blend in perfectly, and I really don't want it to, because he kind of has this fade out thing going on anyways. But I'm just going to kind of coat the whole background in this pretty off-white eggshell. So do all of that color correction. And let that little vignette around him stay. See how much that just cleans that up? Or you can even go in if you want to, and you could clean up the whole little thing around him too. I'd probably go in and erase perfectly. You could even use the pen tool if you want, but you know, completely up to you. I also like the idea of maybe using the dodge tool and lightening this up just so it fades. Like I need a little bit more of a transition there. So I'm going to dodge that so it's just lighter. And it'll fade away more. Alright, and that's how you would fix the old photograph.